Hello, Chris Richter here. So good to be back again. Now, I was asked if I could give a bit of a demonstration on how I go about creating a course from scratch and putting content in and what's involved in that process, because this is something that I've probably done the most out of everything. This is even more than creating plugins and developing all sorts of other things for Moodle and teaching Moodle as well. One of the biggest things that I've done is spend a lot of time transferring content from things like Word documents, PDFs, PowerPoint, all sorts of places, all into a Moodle shell or into a Moodle course. So I want to show you how we go about that process. It's quite simple. And as you go along, feel free, ask questions down the bottom, and I'll certainly see where I can answer them later if there's anything that I've missed or things that you think, how did you do that? Why did you do that as well? But this is still going to be a fairly simple run through it, because there is really a lot involved in doing it in detail and making sure everything's working beautifully and looking fantastic. So this is a bit more of a quick demonstration rather than a detailed process through it. So let's go anyway. Okay, so I'm in Moodle 4 and I'm turning edit mode on. Over on the far right, I've got new course. So I'm just going to create a new course and we'll put our new course in. So the course is actually called Maths at Home for Kids. And this is a sort of a helper course for parents that are teaching their kids at home and want to introduce them to maths and how maths works at home for them. So you'll see here we have a bit of a course outline. So I've got 2 Word documents. Well, I've actually got 9 Word documents, but the first 2 that I'm going to show you in this, because we won't have time to do the rest, is the course overview, which just shows you a bit of overview about what this is about, the objectives, the structure, so you can see all the modules there. And we're going to use the first module, and we'll have some printable stuff as well and videos and things like that we'll put into the content. So let's keep going. So the course is actually called Maths at Home for Kids. So let's grab that. We put in the name. We put in a short name for it as well, which I'm just going to leave as Maths at Home for Kids. It's short enough. You can obviously shorten as well, because it's going to end up with a double name in there, but that's okay. We're just going to change the course end date because we don't need that to be set. And we can also put this into a category if we like in here, which can be under training courses, would be perfect. And then we just say save and display. We can go in and put in our description before we do that, which is here, which we'll put in. And when I pasted that in, so I've copied that out of Word, just Control C or Command C. When I paste it in, I go Command Shift V, and the reason is when you paste in like that, it cleans out most of this HTML that's a bit of a mess. It's still got that span in there, so I'm just going to go into the HTML and quickly change that to a paragraph. And again, like I said, this is just what I do, so if it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. And then I'll just go save and display. I could put in there the course objectives and things in there as well, but that's all we needed. Now we've got our first module, which is module 1, Introduction to Maths at Home. So I'm going to go into topic 1 just here and rename that Introduction to Maths at Home. Normally I would go through here and put in all of the modules, and it's up to you whether you put the name, like the word module 1, module 2 in there as well, or whether you just name them as, as the name of it. Now I'm going to actually put the numbers in because I think that'll be more sensible for everybody. So that's module 1, module 2. So that's all good. Now we're going to go and have a look at the module 1 document to see what we actually have to put in as content. Okay, so you can see that we have it, module 1 here is divided into lessons. Lesson 1.1 has some content, lesson 1.2, lesson 1.3, 1.4, and then a summary. Now, when I create these, I would generally create them as separate modules, but you can also create them, as separate pages, but you can also create them as a book. So this could be one whole Moodle book instead. I'm not going to do it that way this time, but if you want me to do that as a separate exercise, I can certainly do that for you. Let me know. Okay, so we go into add activity and we choose page, and we go down here to our page option, and our page here will be lesson 1.1. And you can take the numbering off that later if you decide that's not useful to you. We can put a description in there, but I want all this to be in the content. So what I'm going to do first of all is just run all the way down here to the bottom, grab all this content, and I'm going to paste that in just how it is using Command Shift Paste, which doesn't look pretty at the moment. And then step by step, I'll go through and decide what needs to have different headings. And this is the way I do headings when I do them. Because most likely I will want to put all of this in an accordion, all of these bullet points into separate accordions, I would go straight in and make these all heading smalls. And you will see why later. So I'm just going to run down and go heading small with all of these, because these are all going to become an accordion set. Small, 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 and I can skip that if you like because you don't want any of that. Then we're going to make these into bullet points, and again, just click on bullet and add it. Bullet there, bullets there. All of these have become bullets. I could have pasted that in as a Word object that would have sort of done a similar thing. This part here we don't need yet because that's the suggested visuals for the page. Okay, I need to get rid of each one of these here, so you can just go in and delete. I do have a faster way of doing this as well that makes it so much simpler than having to go through and do each one, where I can just click on a button and do that. Because I'm doing this so often, I certainly don't want to be doing this a little bit all the time. To do that, I actually use a program called Sublime Text, and Sublime Text has some functions in it that allows you to do all sorts of tidying up and things like that. So if you go in and look at the HTML code here, you can see it's a little bit messy. So what I would do is go into Sublime Text, which is just here. I click on this little tool that I've got up the top called Ghost Text, and it will open up Sublime, and I'll run a couple of little functions that I do that basically clean everything up. And if there's things like these spans in here, I would definitely want to get rid of those and replace and remove all of those because they are really messy. And it looks a little bit neater like that. We do have all those spans there. I don't like them, so I would actually remove all of those as well, just because I can. And again, this is just how I do it. And I want to make sure all of that's nice and clean, which it is now. So all the HTML looks clean, and I can close that up out the way. And we're back here, and we've got now our nice clean code just there. So that's how I would go about putting that bit of content in. Now, something else that I do with accordions, and again, this is using Sublime Text, which is why, again, it might be a bit advanced for many of you, but this is, again, how I do it. I go into here and use a thing called Birdie Oz. I go to accordion, and I close that. And you can see now I've automatically got accordions in and ready to go, which is looking absolutely fantastic. All right, now it's suggesting an infographic, which I don't have yet. I haven't created that infographic, so I'm going to leave that down as a note down the bottom. But it does say put in a video called this one here, a YouTube video. So I'm going to run off to YouTube. It's telling me that video is not available anymore. Let's go and search for that video. Here we go. Importance of early maths. And grab that one. Okay, so that's the video that we want. So I'm just going to go to a tool that I have here called Attribution Maker Plus. Click on that. And it will go to this page here that grabs me all the YouTube information, including some description. I just go copy YouTube code. I go back into my page in here where I'd like it. I'm just going to put some X's in there so I know where to find it in the code. Scroll down in the code till I find that X, and I paste in that information that I just got from the attribution maker, just there. And I now have a YouTube video in there, so I can get rid of that. Now I'd also like to have an image at the top here, a picture. And they're suggesting a photo of parent and child counting colourful blocks together. So I'm going to go off to Unsplash, which is a free website for images. And I'm going to search that and try and find a parent and child counting blocks, which looks like this would be very suitable. I open that up, and I'm again going to go to the attribution maker, which Birdie Oz, you do have to know all about Birdie Oz because Birdie Oz makes life so much simpler. And you can see here that I now have some code. Oh, that was an Unsplash Plus. Should mention that if it's an Unsplash Plus, you can't do that because that's a licensed one. So I go into filters and I say free and apply and see what images we can find that are actually free. Here we go. This one we can use. I'll go back to Attribution Maker and you can see it's there. Now I'd like the image to be sitting on the right hand side maybe. Actually, no. I'm going to go down here and make this image look a little bit cooler and make it a banner right across the top. To do that, I'm going to go to this one and just resize. And it doesn't matter if I cut a bit out here. I just want this image to sit right across the whole top of the page, which often needs to go down quite a bit smaller to do that, to make it look reasonable. But you'll still be able to see what's going on in the picture and you'll be able to understand what they're actually doing. You can see the image there. So I'm going to download the image, copy the embed code, jump back over here to our page, and in the top of the code, I'm just going to paste in that bit of code I just copied, and it says here, replace with a cropped image. So I'll go browse again, and upload a file. In my downloads folder, there it is. I'm going to say open, upload. I'll make it 100%, so it runs right across the whole top of the screen, like that. And now we've got our photo in there as well. The last bit was this reflection questions bit, which I think would be nice inside a box. So to do that, I'm just going to bullet point those reflection questions. And another tool that I like to use, which is from this Attribution Maker as well, which is another thing I like to do, is get some code from the UI elements here, which are fantastic. And we could probably just use, what are we looking at? We're looking at reflection questions. So there's one in here. It's called a reflection activity. We could use that. So I'll go in here, back into the code again, to the bottom of the code. And I'm just going to move this HTML over here, which I can actually do that in normal text. I'll go back to here because then it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. Just going to grab the writing reflection questions, put that in here and replace it. Going to grab those bullet points just there and put them in here because we need those as bullet points instead. And I'll get rid of that extra box because we don't need that. So the only thing I've got left is an infographic, 5 reasons early math matters. So I'm just going to go and see if I can find that for you, and then we'll add that in as an image as well. And that whole first page is done. Got our infographic as well, which is our image that we're going to put in there. So I'm just going to change this heading here, 5 reasons early math matters. Just going to replace that with that one. And in here is where we're going to put our graphic. So I'll get rid of that. Just delete that. Go back to our insert image, browse, and we're going to upload a file. There we go. We've got our file there. You can say upload. And in this case, I'm going to make it 800 wide because that's probably big enough. Maybe 600. We'll have a look and see what it looks like. We need to have a description of what this is as well. So 5 reasons early math matters. And we're going to say save the image. And there it is in there with the reflection question. So let's save and display and see what our first lesson looks like. So lesson 1, why early math matters. Maths isn't just for school, it's fundamental school. It helps children understand their world. So the image is in there nicely. We could get rid of that background. I've got the attribution here so you know where it came from as well, which is just nice to have. Why early math? What does early math look like? Encouraging a growth mindset and how parents can help. Then we go down to the importance of early maths, where we have a video of that. And then the 5 reasons early math matters is in here as this layout. Now, I'm not too happy with that layout really, in that it looks a bit, that big space over the right-hand side doesn't look real nice to me. So what we could do is put the reflection questions over here on the right, sitting down here, which would use up a little bit of that space, but still make it responsive. So if I was going to do that, I just quickly jump back in again to settings. I would go into the HTML, and this is where, again, if you know HTML, it makes everything so much easier. I just put a little bit of coding, which I'll put in. Just put in a BR, a container, and a row, and a div class column. And I've put the heading 5 with the image inside that. I've created a second column and put in a reflective box at the bottom. So now when we go and have a look at that, you can see it sits side by side. And I probably could put the heading above that, would be nicer, wouldn't it? Let's do that. So we'll just jump in and grab that heading 5 and move it up here. There we go. Now that sits above it with our reflection over on the right. When we save and display, it looks more like this now. So that probably would be nicer sitting over to the right, but that's a start to creating lesson 1.1. Then obviously we would move on to lesson 2 and do a similar type of thing where we would take the content and we would put all the bits and pieces in and make it happen. And then we move on to a quiz, of course, or some other type of interaction, H5P maybe, to put that in. But that's as far as I wanted to go with this example of how you would create some content, or how you would put content inside a course fairly quickly and make it look, pretty reasonable, really, and still be responsive as well. So if you did want to check the responsiveness of that, we go here to inspect. We can just change that to a mobile view just there, and you can see responsively it still all works and everything here still fits down nicely. That would be nice if that moved down, which it would if we change a few things in that a little bit of code that I put in. We could make that responsive more so that it drops down below, and the 5 early math matters would then become full width, which I will just do it right now because we can. So I've just changed that to col ND6 inside these rows, col ND6, col ND6. So when we save and display, looks like that. And then if we view that in mobile view, back here again, I'll switch it back to mobile, get rid of that. Scroll down, you can see now that 5 reasons early math matters now fits in there, and the reflection questions sit below that, which looks much, much better. So I hope you found that, or I hope you do find that useful. A lot was happening in that. This is what I do all the time. So if you do have a whole heap of content you need to put into courses, feel free to let me know as well, because I'm sure I can put together a project for you and we can get that done, because it's a lot of fun and you can come up with some really cool stuff as well. I'm Chris Richter. Talk to you again soon.